Alright, what's up guys? This is Team Ubermensch and we are doing a deck profile on
Eradicators.
Alright guys, and this is one of our teammates, Chase, and he is one of the original Narukami players from pretty much all of Vanguard.
From set 6 with Thunderbreak Dragon.
Back when he used to be relevant, sir?
Oh, he was never relevant, but you just had no choice.
Oh.
You had no choice.
Oh god.
But getting right into it. We have our starter, Linchu. Probably one of the best starters in the game. Like, definitely top 5. Boosted an attack that hits a Vanguard, counterblast 1, blow up grade 1 or less. This is a really good card to hit, annoying Vanguard boosters that you can't normally touch or pop other starters. He's so good at his job that I actually play 2 of them. I start one, I main deck the other one, because sometimes you have cards that just won't go away. This gets rid of all of them.
Yeah, back row units are hard. What are some of the most annoying grade 1s that you say you need to get rid of with the skill?
Oh, I love popping 10k boosters for Vanguards. Goyusha, I target Goyusha, Spring Breeze Messenger, just the
grade 3 searchers.
Yes, the starter for Genesis.
Kagero,
Conroe, he's getting banned, but still can't hurt to pop back row and Kagero. So Linchu, amazing at his job. He puts in work all the time.
And your favorite grade 1?
My favorite grade 1, Commander Laurel. He gets the business too. Just pop them all. If I have a problem with the card, it's going bye-bye. The trigger lineup is, fairly straightforward. We have 8 crits, 8 Eradicator crits. I want to go up to 10, but I can't find my other 2 crits. But, 8 crits is more than enough to get the job done.
Why are you so hesitant with running more crits?
I'm hesitant about it because, draw hand advantage is a lot in Vanguard, and if all you have is criticals, you don't really have many defensive triggers in the deck. Meaning you can't plus off, taking damage like you can with a draw trigger or a heal trigger. So, that's why...
And the whole counterblasting was since it's a sub-clan.
Yeah, and the names too. Oh, god, the names. But I also run 4 draw triggers.
Keeping it standard.
And, straightforward. 4 heal triggers. I hate heal triggers, but, you have to play them because everything's a threat. Not to mention everybody either plays a buttload of crits or they run around with extra crits.
Or restand.
Or they restand, and it's craziness, so sometimes you just need to heal out of damage.
Vanguard has become a very crazy game over the years, right, sir?
The power creep is amazing in Vanguard.
But at least, everyone gets, powered up.
For the most part, yeah. Coming up next, we have our grade 1s. Start off with the perfect guards. Like I said, the power creep in this game is insane. 4 perfect guards. I really, honestly can't recommend going with anything less than 4, unless you have quintet walls, in which case you play 3. So, 4 perfect guards.
Has there been any other time you wish you had a quintet wall, if there was one for your clan? Which you are getting one in set 16, but that won't be for a while.
Not a long ways away. But the only deck I really want, decks I would really want a quintet wall for, are just decks with really strong center column, like D Police or Revengers, because Raging Form hits like a truck, and it's never fun. That 21k sounds small on paper, but oh man,
and Kagero.
It comes at the best time. Oh yes, and that thing called Novell. Anyway, enough about that, 'cause I'm getting pissed off thinking about it. Continuing the grade 1s, we have 4 Steel Blood Eradicator Shuki. Shuki is an amazing booster because I blow something up at least once per turn, and he gains 3k for it, so I have a viable 10k booster anywhere on my back row, or in a pinch I have a viable 10k attacker in the front. Shuki is amazing. I run him at 4 because I need to see him. I need Shuki. He's really a very key card in the deck to hit certain numbers. After Shuki, we have 3 Oe, the man with all vowels in his name. This card is actually a new addition to the deck. I tried it out maybe last week at a tournament, and it put in a lot of work because I have so many grade 3 options to handle situations that I can get this effect off anytime. And blowing something up for no counterblast is always wonderful. I might minus one unit, but it will power up other units on the field, so and neg your field, so it's always good. Always good.
Take the hunter. Let's go.
This next card is not an Eradicator, but it's a very, very good card in this deck, and that is Rising Phoenix. For the longest time, I was dead set against playing Rising Phoenix because it's not an Eradicator, and I didn't like the card, period. But, it comes in handy a lot, a little extra draw power without relying on a draw trigger or a
And you can still perfect guard it.
I can still pitch it for a perfect guard. The only time I really don't like seeing this card is in my damage zone because then I can't counterblast it because everyone says counterblast an Eradicator and it's not Eradicator Rising Phoenix. So, but my friend Joey, he taught me into putting this card in my deck. He actually won the regional in Georgia and went on to top at nationals, top 4 I believe, team 6 damage shield. Congratulations, boys.
And if, it's someone that, who can actually make it that far tournament, you actually want to listen to that person because I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they know a thing or two about some Vanguard playing. Coming up, starting with the grade 2s, we have 12k attackers.
Always need them all. Always need them.
I can't play less than 4 just because it's really important for me that I be able to hit Vanguards, grade 3 Vanguards. And aside from cross rides or, trigger boosted Vanguards, I can still apply a little bit of pressure with this card. Not to mention it makes some really, really powerful columns with Shuki after a boost. So 4 Spark Rain, always fantastic.
Always hit those cross rides, sir.
Always fantastic. Next is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Absolute favorites. Cho-O.
Or what I like to call him, Cholo.
Cho-O. He's gonna kill something. And I love it because, again, killing something with no counterblast is always wonderful to me if I can save resources. I can turn a draw trigger that's in my hand. I can just drop a Cho-O, eat the draw trigger, blow up one of your units, and then I have more fodder for the Rising Phoenix should I need it. I usually don't, but still it's always good to blow up your units, and then I can give power to a Shuki or, another unit that has that effect. Cho is a very, very key card in the deck. I wouldn't run him at anything less than 3. I used to run him at 4, but I was seeing too much of him. So I toned it down a bit, and at 3, I think it's the perfect number of Cho-Os in the deck. The next card is another new addition to the deck that puts in a lot of work. It's Lawrence Force Dragon.
Your avatar.
Yes, it is my avatar because our names are extremely similar. I'm not telling you what my name is, but just know it's really similar to this. I like him for the same reasons I liked Uwe. I have a lot of grade 3 options, break rides into other counters and checks. So if I can blow something up for 1 measly counterblast, it's amazing. Not to mention it doesn't say front row. So it's even though it's my opponent's choice, it can still hit back row. So if it can clear their front row, they have to get rid of the back row. And that's always amazing. And I love this card for that. 2 is a perfect number because it is relying on other cards to get this effect off instead of a standalone effect. But 2 is perfect for it. I love it the way it is. It's an amazing card, puts in a lot of work. And rounding off the grade 2s, we have Zuitan.
Your favorite ride target.
He actually is my favorite ride target because he makes Linshu free for the turn. Or he adds a little early game pressure, taking a shield out of my opponent's hand. Not to mention his soul charge effect. It
fuels up Rising Phoenix.
It fuels Rising Phoenix.
Has there ever been a time that soul charging has ever been bad or not really?
I mean, it's bad in conditions where looking back on it is bad, Like there would be times where I'm grade stuck, and I'll swing with it and I'll drop check, something I don't need, and I'll wind up soul charging a grade 3, and then it's like, oh well, crap, now I'm stuck. But The damage unflipping is always welcome in a Narukami deck because there's no Narukami deck that will ever say I don't want to unflip damage. If you have one of those, then you have a bad Narukami deck in my opinion, but like I said, it's my opinion. He provides excellent pressure because since he unflips that damage, a lot of opponents will not want to let him hit. Just because that gives me more resources to do what I need to do with my deck. 2, again, is a perfect number for him because he's good at 2. He's really good at 2.
No 10K vanillas. You don't like the 10K vanillas or anything, or any other grade 2s? Such as the AK
there's
one.
a couple of other grade 2s that I like.
Cause I can tell that the grade 2s are actually really tight, just like the grade 1s.
There's very little wiggle room in the grade 2 department for my deck just because of the numbers I like to run. You could drop the 12K attackers and put in Rochushin, which gains 5K for blowing up a unit, but I don't like it just because it's
8K.
It's 8K, so riding it is going to be a pain in the butt for a turn. And not only that, but it is reliant on another card's effect.
And he only be big for that one turn.
Right.
And then after that, you're going to have to use him as an intercept.
Pretty much, unless I'm going to continually blow something up, then Rochushin's not really worth it. The 10K vanillas I don't like because they don't plus me anything. They're a big body that can still be run over by a 16K column. Because I'm not gonna want to waste a 10K guard on that. So I don't mess with them. If I'm gonna play cards, I want to play cards that get me closer to my goal. Moving into the grade 3s, I play 3 Ignition Dragons. This is, in my opinion, top 3 break ride in the game. Period. Counterblast 1 to retire 2 units is amazing. It can put the fear of God into your opponent's heart because they will look at you and not put your limit break for fear of
losing their friends.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of decks, such as Link Joker, Nova Grapplers, that they're very heavily reliant on their
any deck
such
that's
as
reliant on
friends
on rear guards. Just nuke them, and that's what this deck does the best. It just rains thunder down on your field. That's just what it does. Easily an amazing card in the deck. I don't play 3 of them because space reasons. I run a very, very tight deck. It's very tight and it's amazingly consistent. And yeah, that's that guy. Coming up next is Gauntlet Buster. Another card that can put the fear of God into your opponent's heart.
So many pluses with that break ride. Oh God.
Oh, if you don't know Gauntlet Buster, whenever something dies at limit break 4, whenever something gets sent to the rear guard circle, the Vanguard, the drop zone by my effects, he gains 3,000 power and a critical. So I can leave my opponent at 3 damage and just continually blow something up once per turn, and I can apply MLB style pressure to my opponent because they have to decide they want to go to 5 damage with the chance to go straight to 6. And it's really, really good pressure. You can also counterblast 2 Eradicator cards and retire a unit of your choice. Doesn't matter to me which one you choose, so long as I get to blow something up and I get my first effect off. With a Shuki behind it, just 1 activation of his skill is a 24K column plus crit, which is an excellent number on everything because that's a 15K guard on any Vanguard in the game, cross-ridden or not, vague or not. A 24K column plus a crit, you're gonna drop 10 and a 5 for a 1 to pass, which is excellent. And these last 2 cards are fast becoming one of my favorite cards in the game. A lot of people would think it's Descendant, but it's not.
What? No Descendant? I want you, sir, to elaborate.
I don't like Descendant. It's a personal choice that I have. He's an amazing card, don't get me wrong, but I don't like him because he comes at the entire wrong time for my liking. I usually wind up with Descendant as my only grade 3 in hand, and mid-game ride Descendant is nothing. you want to have Descendant with your opponent at 5 damage and maybe 4 or less cards in the hand, because even if they're at 5 damage, you're really not going to want to -3 cards from your hand to stand up into another Perfect Guard again. So Descendant wasn't really doing it for me, but Tempest Bolt Dragon does wonders for me.
But you know what he does.
Tempest Bolt Dragon, his first effect, his Limit Break 4 effect, is to counterblast 3 damage to blow up all rear guards on the field, mine and yours. And his secondary effect, always standing effect, is he gains 2,000 power for every open rear guard circle. And that is beautiful.
Especially against Link Joker.
It's beautiful against Link Joker. It's beautiful against Kagero. It's
So they knew your
beautiful
field.
against Shadows. It's beautiful against any deck. And it's really a really good tech for people who feel like if they don't play rear guards and just rely on their Vanguard, that they can just skate by with just Vanguard attacks and the Vanguard booster. This guy says, no, I'm gonna hit you I'm gonna make you pay for leaving those spaces open. And it provides kind of a check to a lot of people, because once they play 5 units from their hand, I can just blow them up, and then they neg 5 units from their hand. That's 5 cards gone. Meaning I can apply still more pressure. Tempest Bolt is wonderful. The only card he doesn't like looking across from is basically Garmor. That's the only card he doesn't like staring down, because Garmor can just counterblast him and refill his field right back up.
But even then, they're probably not even going to get a perfect field because they're going to get triggers.
Well, yeah, but even then, they take away my 2k power for everything empty on the field, which is what I want. But for a mid-game ride or even late-game ride for tremendous numbers pressure, Tempest Bolt Dragon honestly cannot be beat, in my opinion. He's amazing, an amazing, amazing card. I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves, and I'm slowly proving that he deserves respect on the field.
So no more Descendant.
No, for me, no more Descendant. I will never look down on somebody for playing Descendant, but it's just not
It's player preference. I actually seen a couple people running more draws just for the fact that they're running Tempest Bolt. That way, when they use his skill, they can at least replenish their hand and field.
Right. Well, I mean, replenishing my hand and field is not that important to me, because honestly, draw power in this deck doesn't really do too much. It doesn't do a lot of things. This deck can run on the bare minimums that it needs to survive and be a-okay. This deck doesn't need to maintain massive hand advantage, because I'm always gonna have hand advantage over you, provided you don't run 6 draw triggers and hit every draw trigger. I'm gonna run your hand down, because I'm gonna blow your units up. You're gonna have to replace them, and then they're gonna get blown up too. And that's my Eradicator deck.
So how much has set 14, really, done for this deck?
Set 14 did a lot, because set 14, this is 14, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Set
You got
14
Tempest,
gave me this guy,
Ignition.
who's amazing. A better break ride, because if you ask me, Vowing Sword is one of the worst break rides I've ever
Well,
seen.
it's not really bad. He's just been outdated, just because other break rides have come into the game and really have made a huge impact.
Even as far as blowing something up and getting a card for, and getting, because everyone gets to 10k, except Tachikaze, because they have to have extra conditions for it, which is bad for them, but they make it work. The 10k aside, all it really does is blow up 1 unit in the front row, and if you're playing against a good player, they'll see when you're gonna break ride. And they'll either have trash units out there they don't care about, or they'll have nothing out there, meaning you have to hold on to your grade 3. And he's just not really worth it, in my opinion. I've never liked him. Set 14 gave me this guy, more answers to destruction in his deck. Set 14 also gave me this guy, which is, again, more destruction in the deck. Set 14 did wonders for the deck. The deck was good before, but now I have more options, because basically before I was kind of forced to run Descendant, because your only other options were Sweep Command, and Sweep Command was really only good either your first ride, your first grade 3 ride, or your absolute last grade 3 ride when your opponent has nothing left. That was pretty much it for Sweep Command.
And Vowing Sword Reverse if you play that build.
Vowing Sword Reverse, I never got into it just because I don't know, like I just never got into it. The counterblast cost is extremely heavy.
Locking too.
Locking my units, I don't like doing that with Chaos Breaker running around. Chaos Breaker blowing up my cards that I decided to lock, then I'm negging myself, and it's just no, I want to keep as much advantage to my side as I possibly can, and this deck lets me do that. The only problems I've ever had with the deck come from, the general problems anyone has with any deck.
Great
lock, or sometimes you
not
draw
riding
more triggers you want. You don't want.
Or riding the guy you don't really want to ride first turn.
Yeah, like riding a perfect guard first turn. Simple stuff that plagues any deck in this game.
Who do you feel are the all-stars of that? Because I know you recently just topped at our bounty tournament.
All-stars that put in the most work.
I know it's that Tempest Bolt.
Oh, Tempest Bolt just did wonders because a lot of people didn't expect him. A lot of people they're stuck on Descendant, and that's fine. Descendant's really good, but again, Descendant's only good for really late game. Tempest Bolt can come in at any time. Anytime there's open rearguard circles, doesn't matter if I'm at 1 damage or if I'm at 5 damage. I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna hit you like a truck, and I'm gonna get a perfect guard or something out of your hand. The break ride, always. Gauntlet Buster. These 3 do so much work because if I break ride Gauntlet Buster over Ignition, he comes in.
And you better wish you had a
He
perfect
comes
guard.
in with 3. He's coming in swinging for 2 extra crits already. If I have this guy out here for 1 more counter blast, I can blow up something else. That's 4 damage he's swinging for, and with a Shuki behind him, I believe that's a 46k column plus 4 crits. That is a hella strong center column coming in off the break ride, and it's just ridiculous. Everything pulls its own weight. Shuki always does weight because something's gonna get blown up. Doesn't matter when, doesn't matter where. Something's going down, and that's 10k booster. The deck runs extremely well. It's extremely tight. There is very little room. The thing about it being extremely tight, though, is there's very little room for player error. Because if I screw up, I'm going to be paying for it. I'm going to get hit hard. If I call the wrong thing, I'm going to get hit hard. If I block the wrong thing, I'm going to get hit hard. This deck is extremely tight. It will reward you with wins. When I topped, I believe I lost to my teammate, and I lost in top 8. I lost to double crit at 3 damage, which can't be helped. It's not the deck's fault.
Happens to every great player.
Yeah, and I lost to the opponent. I lost to. He literally hit every trigger.
Oh no, I remember that. No, the salt was real that day. My buddy here, Chase, hit him with he double critted him. The guy got crit draw and then 6 damage heal.
I triple critted him actually. Triple critted him. He goes draw trigger, power to Vanguard, draw trigger, power to Vanguard, crit trigger, power to Vanguard. So his Vanguard gained 15k attack. He had no rear guards because I blew him up. So I couldn't even swing with my rear guard column. I was like, well, what can you do?
And he pretty much replenished his hand real fast.
Yes, because he hit 2 draw triggers in 1 turn. So, but that's my deck profile right there. It's Chase from Team Ubermensch.
Ubermensch! Alright guys, we're signing out. Subscribe, like the video, and comment below. Thank you guys. Sign out.